Welcome back to another lesson with me, Mr. B. For this lesson, we're going to learn how to set up our quotes. We're going to use a 3-step process to help us structure our evidence and analysis for writing assignments and literary analysis essays. When writing a literary analysis essay, your body paragraphs will utilize your ability to set up quotes. And a body paragraph consists of several moving parts. But today, we're only going to be looking at 3. If you find your way over to lesson 8, you're going to see this document right here, setting up quotes. Here are the 3 components of setting up your quote. First, we have your lead-in, then your evidence or concrete detail, and lastly, your commentary or analysis. First, a lead-in. A lead-in introduces who is talking to who, where, when it occurs in the plot, and it must have a comma after the lead-in before the quotation marks. So if you notice right over here, there's a comma. That comma has to be there right before these quotation marks. Of course, in your little paragraph or in an essay, they're all going to be in one line and not separated in these boxes. But it is necessary to have the proper punctuation. Otherwise, you're going to lose points. The purpose of a lead-in is to give some context to your reader. Sometimes the reader may not have read the book that you're writing about. This is why you need a lead-in. Again, to provide context for your reader. In this example of The Hate You Give, the writer says, at Williamson, Star becomes Star 2.0, where she puts up a new identity to hide parts of herself that her peers may find as ghetto or gangster, comma. Emphasizing that comma. If we're looking at this example, right, the writer answers where, we can see who they're talking about, Star, and specifically when. She puts up a new identity to hide parts of herself that her peers may find as ghetto or gangster. Though that is not a specific time, it does give the reader enough context which sets you up for the evidence or concrete detail. Now we know that the writer is probably going to choose a passage from one of the chapters where Star is kind of switching between Garden Heights Star and the Star that she is at school. So we haven't even gotten to the passage that the writer is using. And yet we already have a full image of what they're going to reference, an example of Star's multiple identities. So second, evidence and concrete detail. This is a passage of your choosing that helps support your claims. Make sure to use quotes and properly cite them. Building off of the lead-in example about Star's multiple identities, that would go right here between the quotation marks and followed by a proper citation and punctuation, see that period over there, after your evidence. So it has to be structured this way. Make sure you don't miss where those arrows are pointing. And lastly, number 3 of today's lesson is your analysis, also known as commentary to others. This is where you explain that big so what. Explain exactly how this supports or proves your claim. Make sure it connects back to your topic sentence, and you must have at least 2 sentences of analysis. So again, in this case, you don't have a topic sentence. We don't have a thesis statement either, but your topic sentence or thesis statement could be this question right here. How is systemic racism shown in the book, and who is it perpetuated by? How is oppression present in the book, and how is it perpetuated? Or you can even look back at your literary analysis annotation organizer. You might not have a thesis statement or topic sentence, but you do have some topics to write about here when you're using this setting up quotes, building your body paragraph worksheet. Remember, your analysis must at least be 2 sentences. A good rule of thumb would be for every sentence in your evidence, you should have at least 2 sentences of analysis explaining that sentence. The longer the passage you choose, the more analyzing you have to do for your reader. Because remember, they might not have read The Hate You Give. Over at the top of the worksheet, there is a little word bank of helpful transition words. You can draw inspiration from these as sentence starters for your lead-in or a connector between your sentences of analysis. I hope that overview of the Setting Up Quotes worksheet helps give a better idea of how to structure your written responses on Google Classroom. This is good practice for essay writing in any subject, and it gives you a new tool in your writing toolkit. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.